Okay, back to our page again. At the moment, we've got a web page that looks like this. Now, left-oriented heading, large size, H1 size, and a blank dark blue background. That's all we've got. Let's make this a little bit more interesting. So we're going to add a structural element, a new structural element. And this structural element, if I just enter down, is called a div. Now, a div is just a container, and you can put stuff inside it by just surrounding stuff with the div tag. So we've got our first div tag, and we then put in a closing div tag with the /, and if I look at this and save it, right, you won't know the difference. If I go back to the page and refresh, it doesn't make any difference. You can't see it. We have to do a few things in the styles to make some difference. So we go back to our styles, and we now add a new element, div, to our styles. And again, it's like what we did with the body. We put down the word div, a opening bracket facing left, and we are also going to put in a background color. So same process, background hyphen color American spelling, colon, and this time we'll make it light blue, semicolon to close off that style. We will then add a size. So we're going to add a width first of all, and we're going to make our width in terms of percentage width of our screen size. So it's fairly flexible depending on what screen size you've got, but we'll just make it 60%. So it's not going to cover the entire screen, just 60% of the screen in width. But if we look at this, I'll just add our final bracket. We always need that. Save it, and I look at what we've got on screen. Let's see. I refresh this, and right, so our div there we can see is surrounding the text, our heading, as shown in our structure, and it has a light blue background, but it's only the height of our text there. So we go back to our Notepad document, and we're going to give it a height as well. So I insert inside there, and we're going to say height. Make sure you spell that correctly or this won't work. Height, colon, and this time we won't make it a percentage, but we'll make it, say, 500 pixels in height. Now, what we do is we use the shorthand px for pixels, semicolon, and then we'll have a look at that. So I've saved again, save the document, and then go to my web page, and ta-da, we've got a div there showing that height. Now, okay, what we want to do now is center this div, because we don't want everything centered, slanted over to the left, and so the text as well we need to center. So what I'll do is we'll put in a first of all the code to center the div. So we say margin hyphen left. There's two things we need to do here. Margin left auto, just a special way of putting this, and we also need to match that with margin right auto, semicolon, don't forget those semicolons, and if we save that, have a look at our page, and we refresh, and our div has been centered. Now what we need to do is center this text, so that's a pretty simple matter. So we go back and we also add, because we're styling the div, we put this in there, text hyphen align T center in American spelling again. So watch that. Watch your spelling always when you're coding HTML, because it's unforgiving. It won't work if you don't spell things in the right way. So we save this, and we look at our web page and watch the text, and it's also being centered. Okay, terrific. Let's just go back to our what I might do is, because the heading looks a bit light, we might make it what would we make it? Let's try crimson, a crimson colored heading. So we'll put in, again, just like we did for body, this time color for the div, I'll say is crimson. May not look too good, but anyway, it'll show up differently, or a bit more clearly than the previous text. So I save that, and yes, there it is. So there's a little bit of styling with our div, showing it up on the screen. So we've now got a container into which we can put some other content, which we'll continue in the next video.